Hello and welcome back to the Florencio Files. It's been a hot minute, but I can't wait to get back into the thick of it. My month of streaming straight is over. And we're back here with the Sewer Mermaid. He's playing Terran in this game up in the top right. He is on his You Gotta Lose account. It's Florencio. His opponent in the bottom left-hand side, the blue Zerg player. This is a Manimersu? Manimersu, man. We're gonna call you man. What's up, man? So it's gonna be a Terran versus Zerg here, and Florencio is gonna be starting off with that low ground wall off. Why wall off up here when you can wall off down there? It makes sense. And knowing Florencio, he might just build a backup wall there, and who knows, maybe he'll put a bunker and a siege tank back here as well, because you never know. Oh, I like this. Florencio says you can't have to work 2 shifts in a row. Rather than getting the same SCV that builds the depot to build the barracks, he says, no, you get a coffee break. You can go long distance mine some minerals, go for a nice stroll. I'll bring down a different SCV to build the barracks. I like it. Drilly Boy comes in for a bit of a defense there, does try to engage the drone that walks into the base. Now, I wonder if you recognize that name. You gotta lose. There's cheese in the alias. With Gouda, you've got floaters. I mean, these are all warning signs. You now see 2 SCVs chasing your drone. I think you're feeling pretty good that you've gone for a nice early work as scout. Let's see. How are we going to take advantage of this? Ooh, quick third base. I like it. Okay, so the opponent here is going mega macro mode. Just gasless up to 3 hatcheries. And that's a danger, because Florencio's openings could best be described as suboptimal. He's got 3 SCVs he's used to build these buildings when one could have just built them all one after the other. And he's not going to be able to afford an expansion for a long, long time. Also, no orbital command center and double gas on one base with no tech started until just now. So Florencio's opening, if his opponent drones for a long while, is going to put him in trouble. But remember, it's always about that slow crawl, right? He's trying to just kind of, slowly eke out a little bit of pain, bit of suffering, bit of destruction from his opponent. He's going to do some long distance mining. He's like, why don't I have 400 minerals yet? Oh, man. I wonder, actually, maybe this is a worse job, mining minerals from the natural, because you got to run further. What do you guys reckon's more frustrating as an SCV? Trying to drill these minerals apart? Or could it actually be the running back and forwards is a little bit more frustrating? I'm not really sure. Either way, Flo is just kind of doing his classic 1 marine defense. And here we go. Okay, who's got 2 pistols and doesn't give a shit? It's Mr. Reaper, and he's going to go into that base. There is already a queen out, but the Reaper going to throw a grenade and does manage to hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different drones with his attacks and his grenades and the queen. So Florencio inflicting about 60 hit points of damage, but spreading it across 5 or 6 different targets to get maximum impact, knowing that if he runs around and just kind of pokes every single Zerg unit, they can regenerate, get that life back up. This hatchery as well actually took almost 100 hit points of damage. So Florencio sticking back to basics in that regard. He's got an SCV going to the corner of the map to hide, and his command center is finally on the way. Reaper's just chilling for now. Florencio not engaging and being as annoying as I'd normally expect from the Sewer Mermaid, but he's going to go starport, factory reactor behind it as well. A couple Zergling scouts coming out from the Zerg player. One Overlord going to sacrifice in for a scout as well. These Zerglings just put out there. This is basically the worst job as a Zerg, because these are the Zerglings that 100% die. Their job is literally just to walkie-talkie back home when the enemy's coming in and then get themselves killed. Speaking of getting kills, comes in, kills one of the defenseless workers and leaves. Ooh, Florencio feeling a bit of turgidity after that, and I think he's going to go back in again when that's healed up. The Zerg builds a spine crawler to respond to it. It's like, all right, you're gonna do that? I'll build a spine on this base, and he's already at almost double the workers. Man is looking bloody good in this game compared to Florencio. I mean, Man is way, way ahead economically. He's gonna go lots of queens and melee Zerglings though, and none of that. Actually, the queens will be pretty good because we've got double Liberator on the way. Overlord does see the reacted starport though, so the Zerg's going to have about as much time as you possibly could to prepare behind that fusion core proxied in the corner of the map. Florencio's just building up as he tends to do with Terran, right? He doesn't like to kind of rush into trying to cheese his opponent. It's all about, okay, I'll be a little annoying with a Reaper, get a few harassment units out, but it always feels like it's the opponent getting a little bit confused by how slowly he expands, and then him getting up to the really annoying later stage. So you can see Florencio wants to swap these around and start battle cruisers, but he waits till he pushes the Overlord out of vision and then does the swap, so he doesn't give it away. Sneaky as always is the Sewer Mermaid. He's going to build a third command center over here and float that down as well. That Reaper's still just chilling. And the Zerg's going Spire. Oh man, Quick Spire is so good versus this. The Zerg could go Muters, which will shut down BC Lib. Could get Corruptors, shut it down even harder. It's going to force a ton of turrets out of Florencio. This is such a good position. Oh shit! Looks like that Reaper ran in the Hentacle. Managed to hit him. So he does go back, inject some more combat drugs, which apparently magically heal just about any damage you take. And what do we got now? 49 drones versus 34 SCVs. I mean, the drone count isn't growing anymore, and there's no creep spread. As I say it, a few creep tumors go down there and there. The Zerg player still has plenty of room to breathe, but Florencio says, okay, let's not leave you to your own devices too much. The Reaper's going to come on in and be super annoying here. Once again, oh, look at that. Complete lack of focus fire. Accidentally kills the drone there. Florencio's got to be upset with that. Remember, his whole goal here is to not actually kill anything, just to damage things. And he's going to continue that by sieging up Liberators in possibly the worst position I've ever seen. He drops a mule to repair, but it dies before it can do anything. This Liberator sieges up on literally nothing. Wait. Is the Zerg actually just... No, the Zerg... Okay, the Zerg does dodge. Wait. What is this Zerg doing? That Queen just walks away. That one walks in and dies. What? This was the most botched attack I've ever seen from Florencio, but his opponent apparently disrespecting him. Why is he running the drones to the battlecruiser? Move the Spore Crawler over. That's the priority, dummy. The Zerg player. Wait. Why is Florencio clicking on the Overlords? That's one of the tankiest units. The drones are such good targets. Instead, he spreads his attacks across a bunch of Overlords. Now he starts shooting the Mutalisks, which is a little bit more valuable. So he should be able to kill a few of those. The Liberator on sieges and helps out. The Mule does go down to the Zerglings. The Muters, a lot of Muters going down here to these battlecruisers. Battlecruiser and the Liberator do turn around here after killing 3 Mutalisks. He's like, hey, why not? Let's siege up this base. There's nothing mining there right now, though. So he's going to focus fire the Queen. It looks like, wait, no, now he's clicking on that hatchery. So he clicks on the hatchery of the Battlecruiser, then he clicks on the Queen, then he clicks on the hatchery. Now he clicks on an Overlord. Is Florencio drunk? He literally changed targets 6 times to damage every different thing. This is true Science Master in action. Like, Florencio is so not focused on winning. He is literally just trying to damage as many different Zerg units. It's like he's playing tag. He's like, touch you, touch you, touch you. He's just tapping these Zerg units in the side of the head. He's in massive maximum troll mode. Surely now you go for the drones, right? You've got to do some actual damage. Your opponent's up on 3 base economy. Finally, Florencio makes the pleb logical decision and actually shift clicks the drones, which is the valuable target. It's what you're meant to do with a battlecruiser. So he goes against Science for a little bit. Now he goes back to just fighting the Mutalisks head on. Let's see if he changes targets. He does. He changes from damaging a Muta to the drones, and then back to the Muta, and then back to the drone after damaging the Muta, then back to the Muta. Oh my god. I've never seen a man damage so many units in one game without committing to finish a single one off. I mean, I think the Zerg at this point is just going, is he trying to not kill units? Is he trying to be as ineffective as possible? Like, I'm not sure if Bronze League kind of micro where you're just clicking on things randomly because you're excited. It can't be. Florencio has shown he's got very good micro in certain situations, very occasionally. So it's got to be Florencio just going, science. He's just trying to tap every Zerg unit. And remember, for those who haven't watched a lot of the Florencio files, if you're new to the show, there is an old rule which he stated in his original textbook at Florencio's Science School for kids who can't macro good, which is when you're playing against Zerg, no matter what matchup it is, their units regenerate. So you can actually do more damage to your opponent in total if you damage units. Things like these hatcheries and overlords, because they all regenerate. You can see their hit points over here. There we go, 156, 157, and 158. They all slowly regenerate, and that gives you a higher hit point pool to do damage to. And remember, damage is what frustrates, it's what irritates, it's what annoys your opponent. So for him, he's maximizing the potential damage that can happen later in the game. So he's actually farming hit points here by damaging units and not killing them. Some people say that doesn't make any sense and that's fucking stupid. I say you guys just can't conceive of things that you haven't experienced yet. And that's why you guys have got to go out there, try it on the ladder, and you will find a lot of these Zerg players get way more frustrated because they can see that you're not actually killing their units and they think you're not trying to win, but then they get tilted and then they get more pissed off when they lose the next fight. So let's see how Man handles it. Man is going Lingbane Muta versus Mech. So that's usually not the most advisable. Don't know if anyone saw Raynor's recent match about a week ago in ZVT versus Maru on Blackburn. But I think we saw a good example of why you don't play Muta Lingbane versus Mech. You can kind of make it work if you're far enough ahead, but you need a giant economy. And right now, Florencio is actually caught up on economy. He's on 3 base versus 3 base. His income might even be a little higher. Oh, wait, no, it's Florencio. He doesn't drop mules, or very few mules at least. But man, he is so set up. Look at this. He's just like, okay, do some little Hellion pokes, be annoying. Zerg's going to clean up the fusion core. But he's just set traps everywhere, right? He's just got Widow Mines and turrets on every side. And we know that players who play Mutalisks are basically, until you get to a very high level, it's kind of like, it's the guy who just cannot contain himself, you know? It's that sweaty guy who's just trying to he's just freaking pelvic thrusting and hip thrusting on the dance floor in the club. He's kind of going around just like, you're always, you know, you're there dancing as an attractive person. He's always, suddenly you feel something brush up behind you. It's this creepy, weird guy. That's Mutiling Bane players. They don't really have manners. They don't really, you know, they always diving into situations a little bit YOLO. And that's kind of what Florencio is banking on here, because he doesn't really have an army. He's got a couple of Thors, but he's just got a shitload of static defense. And this is, of course, Florencio's way of playing Terran. It's Home Alone. It's the Home Alone Terran. He says, come on into my traps. Look, I don't have any army. Come on in. Watch out for the Widow Mines. Ooh, okay, there was only 2 Widow Mines. This was actually his smallest trap out of all of them. Nonetheless, a whole lot of mutas do go down. If that was 4 Widow Mines, I think every single muta would have died. As it is, 15 mutas get out of there and run away. There's Thors, there's Widow Mine traps, there's all sorts of shit. I'm sure at this point, you'd probably want to swap out of the mutas, right? Maybe heading towards Ultras. Hive is on the way. And there's double upgrades. You've got also air upgrades on the way. +1/+1 attack, +1 armor for them. 11 more drones. Going up to over 80 workers. I mean, this is the sort of shit you want to be doing as the Zerg player. Now, Florencio is going to try and establish a base on the left, and he's just massing Medivacs and Thors. So for those who don't know, Medivacs cannot heal Thors. They technically could pick them up and fly them around. But if your opponent's massing units that shoot up, it's a bloody terrible idea. You could use 1 or 2 Thors with Medivacs to ferry them between your bases to defend Muta harass better. Not really necessary when you're massing Widow Mine turret on every single base. Now, Florencio goes into high impact payload on every single Thor. I mean, that's going to allow him to kill the Overlord quicker, but that's way worse versus mutas. He knows his opponent's massing mutas. So he's using the wrong firing mode. This firing mode, it has a single target, super long ranged, high damage shot. It's good for killing Broodlords and carriers and battle cruisers, armored units. But when you swap into the Javelin missile launcher, it does splash damage and it does heaps of bonus to light units like mutas. So light units like mutas, anything that clumps up a lot. So any air units that's really massed up, you usually want to have it in splash damage mode. So Florencio says, I'm just going to go into the high impact payload. I don't know if he did it on the right. He's going to do a double Thor drop down either side. But I mean, this is absolute nonsense. The opponent's got Lingbane Muta. They should easily be able to attack move this. I mean, let's see. Florencio here trying to troll his opponent with silly moves. The mutas fly right past. Oh god, oh god, oh god. Florencio notices it, does the Zerg. The Zerg saw something on the minimap there, reacts a little bit slowly, but oh my god. Okay, those mutas are going to destroy this dude. The Thors go into the third at the same time. These Thors in the main, they unload. What are they going to kill? He changes targets again, so he kills 1 Mutalisk, change targets from the first one. He only kills a single muta. Oh my god. Meanwhile, though, these Thors are actually killing an entire mineral line. Man did not react. Pull the drones away! Oh my god. So this Zerg ends up losing a whole lot. And then he swaps these into single fire target mode as well. Why does he keep swapping them into the wrong firing mode? Florencio, you absolute troll. Is he trying to purposely... purposely beat his opponent without the tools? Is this like you're going into one of those Western gun duels, a shootout? It's like who can do the quick draw first, and then he throws his gun on the ground and he's like, nah, I'm gonna run across the 10 meters between us and punch you in the face before you draw your gun. And you're like, well, that's physically not possible. And he's like, yeah, but if I do it, you're gonna feel really bad and be upset, and I think it'll be funny. And you're like, that's so fucking stupid. There is no reason to be using high impact payload versus mutas. It's the suboptimal option, objectively. And of course, I'm sure Florencio has some sort of scientific explanation. I flunked out of science school. I don't know. I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume it's something like, oh, well, if you purposely beat your opponent with a pointy stick when they have an assault rifle, they're gonna know deep in their soul that they're a useless piece of shit and they should quit ever engaging in combat. And you're like, okay, yeah, that's kind of fucking dumb though. And he's like, yeah, but my name's Florencio. I'm the kind of guy who goes and tries to infect people by putting poo in their wounds rather than actually, using the fucking correct form of combat. I love that the Zerg sees this and just runs Zerglings in and gets them killed. We're not gonna clean that up. We're gonna use 2 drones. You've got a whole army. So this Zerg's brain has been broken. I think they're realizing at this point that Florencio is just gonna sit behind planetaries and widow mines and then poke at him with annoying things. And I think the Zerg's brain is already breaking. The Zerg's like, do something. You're meant to attack into me. And I'm sure this Zerg would be way more comfortable. Once again, high impact payload. Why are you using the wrong firing mode? Oh my god. 1 widow mine short of killing every single muta still kills a fair amount there. And I think this has got to trigger the Zerg, who for some reason is making Broodlords versus Thors. No. What the fuck? Florencio is purposely using Mass Thor in single fire mode, the high impact payload mode, over and over again, and it's only good versus Broodlords. The Zerg, who keeps finding a way to throw Mutalisks away in not the best trades, but still good enough because you have the whole map, is now making Broodlords the one unit that Florencio's army has been good against up to this point. The Zerg is now going to build that unit. What is this? Is this a Thor run by? Did he just run 5 Thors along the edge of the map and he's gonna try and snipe a hatchery? The Zerg isn't even reacting. His ultras are running away. He's like, well, it must be a trap. Every time he's done it before, I've ran into widow mines. These Thors run in, kill a hatchery. Are they running away? Are you fucking kidding me? If they get out of here, this is... Man, what are you doing? This is the most... He's so intimidated, he doesn't even chase the Thors down. That is the first time I have ever seen a successful Thor run by. Because it's not even a run by, it's a waddle by. Look how slow they walk, they're waddling. Now, the Broodlords are going to do a big attack. 1 Thor caught out in its own. Obviously, 1 Thor's not going to beat that many Broodlords. Where are the Thors? They're all on the left side of the map right now. These ones actually have the splash damage firing mode, so they're going to need to swap into high impact payload before they fight these Thors. Command center on the left is going to go down to a single Zergling. Lots of planetaries getting taken out. I mean, they survive. They buy a little bit of time for a moment, but oh, it's a desperate Hellion Thor counterattack. So he says, look, I can't engage that front on. That's okay. I'm going to run Hellions in and roast your drones. Florencio is going to try and get Vikings out behind this because there's only 6 Mutalisks and 5 Queens that shoot up on the Zerg side of the map right now. And here we go. Ultras and Lings could come back and kill this very easily. For some reason, they haven't. They're just sitting up there, leaving that whole base to go down. The hatchery's going to go down. The Thors are killing all the drones. The hatchery is going to get killed by Hellions. How often do you see that? Thors come in and kill almost all the drones as well. This Zerg player, man, does take out a few command centers, but you've got to go home and defend your economy, mate. What are you doing? Florencio clicking on the hatchery here, focus firing. He does finally, he can't resist, and he does take out all those drones that are stacked up. Of course, spreading his damage out a little bit to try and maximize that. Finally, the Thors go down to the Ultraling Bane. They got surrounded. Remember, this is 2-2 Ultra Zergling Baneling. They'll annihilate Thor Hellion. And the Broodlords, for some reason, Ravens drop auto turrets on top of them because it looks funny, I guess. It's the Vikings that are actually going to clean this up because there's no anti-air. The Broodlords left in the open are going to get cleaned up by just Vikings. Oh my god, man has taken out a base, which is very important in a few command centers, but there's still a fully mining base there. What does man have for mining behind this? A base in the bottom right? As long as, well, the Zerg's got so much money as well and so much in the bank. So it should be a really easy comeback for Man. But Man right now is building 2 Corruptors, has 11 lava that isn't being used. Could also A-move across the map and win with Ultraling Bane. Because Florencio has literally nothing to fight Ultras right now. But the Zerg is just chilling on this army. What are we making? 11 Banelings, 2... No hatcheries? What is the Zerg doing? Okay, let's go to Man's camera and watch the frigging plight of a Zerg whose brain has been broken. It says, okay, I should build a hatch. You should build like 5 bases right now. If you're not going to counterattack, you got to take bases. The Zerg is now staring at the army, is now clicking a few drones in the main and moving them to the bottom right, is now running the army around. What is this Zerg doing? Has taken like 3 minutes to decide to counterattack, and now he's doing it in the most tentative and pansy way I've ever seen. What? What is this Zerg doing? And now he's massing mutas versus a player who's making Thor, Viking, Ghost, Raven, mine. Why would you make 21 mutas right now? Oh my god. And what's the bet this Zerg doesn't use control groups? Let's see. Yeah, all the mutas are probably just going to get added in with the Ultras because they do not have a control group right now. Florencio comes in with a Viking Rest. Hey, the mutas are actually going to be good for handling this. If he actually turns them around, the Vikings are going to lift off and kill a few of these. But a good pullback by the mutas. Now, if Man just pulls the drones away, if Man just runs the drones away just one time, if Man had pulled drones away at any of the harassment moments in this game, Florencio would be doing piss all damage. As it is, the mutas are actually going to clean up these Vikings pretty well, though. Florencio's troll harassment there. 0 scouting ahead to check on the Zerg's position. Tries to land his Vikings. Ends up losing 12 Vikings. Now 20 drones get built. Now another hatchery gets built. Oh my god, this Zerg player is truly something unique and special. Check it out as well. For some reason, the hatcheries are all on different control groups. Oh my god. What utter nonsense. Oh my god. Oh, this Zerg player. And the mutas have just been thrown in the one army. Against a player who's been using Thors and Widow Mines. No. Wait. The Thors are all in Javelin missile launcher mode, which by the way is what they spawn on. So they're actually going to be in the correct mode for the first time in this game, fam. They're going to annihilate these mutas. We are, for the first time ever, going to see them doing the correct thing. There's also a double nuke attack coming in, by the way, from Florencio. Let's see how big brain his nukes are. He's going to do one on the natural, and the other one, he's going to... Who follows that order? I don't care how brainwashed you are or how patriotic you are. No one calls in an airstrike at their own feet without a good reason to do it. He's like, yeah, I have a good reason. I want to kill these 4 creep tumors. Florencio. His decisions are where to nuke. He's like, hey, by the way, buddy, I have nukes and I'm going to launch the first one at my own feet. Just to announce how little I respect you as a player. I don't know if it's stupidity or him insulting his opponent. I just know it hurts my brain to watch. Oh my god, the mutas take massive launcher shots all to the face. The Ultras are running in single fire into a choke point. Oh my lord. Oh man, taking the worst fight of all time. Builds a very counterable army that's tempo focused in Ultra Muta, gives Florencio 10 minutes to build the hard counter to it, and then attacks into the worst possible angle of all time. Absolute disaster from Man, who still has a big mineral bank, but has not been rebuilding drones, putting back on gas, or rebuilding some of these hatcheries either. And it's going to just run out of money here in a game where Florencio really has no way of taking these extra bases. Ultraling Bane should have been able to defend that. A nuke gets called in, the Ghost immediately is cleaned up. And it's just Thors and Hellions here for Florencio. Remember, still is on 0-0 versus 2-2, soon to be 3-2 Ultraling Bane. But our Zerg player here is just not building an economy, not putting back on gas, and just... I think they're just probably so upset. Let's check the units lost. I'm actually surprised it's that close, but I guess it's because a lot of buildings and workers were getting killed of Florencio, not to mention Thor run-bys and Thor drops that were just thrown into Mutalisks willy-nilly. So there's been a few very bad fights on both sides. I mean, the tail end of it is that the Zerg's a few thousand behind, which is like totally reasonable in this matchup. Unless you just let Florencio continually expand for free. Flo's scanning as well, and he's like, hey, you haven't even retaken that base? He's like, oh, dude, I'm winning this so badly. He's trying to see the army right now. Sees a Lottling Bane. He's going to actually launch it up on the high ground, this red dot. Let's go to the Zerg's camera. The Zerg just got a nuclear launch detected warning and appears to just be macroing. Somehow is oblivious to nuclear launch detected. Oh, I mean, it's still not the biggest. It's a couple Lings, Banes, and Creep Tumors. Florencio, as always, he likes to throw these nukes out in the middle areas. And I think a big part is he's just fishing to catch the army. I think he just wants to, like, catch them, like, not really looking. Oh, Widowmine Planetary is going to make quick work of these Zerglings. They could click on that command center and kill it really easily. It looks like those 4 will kill it. No cancel. But the Planetary is going to easily clean those Zerglings up. Hellions going to drive in on the other side. Oh, he's almost at 100 workers killed. Dude. Anyone want some barbecue? Yeah. Apparently Florencio would love some barbecue. He's going to idle his Hellions. They could have gone in and got a lot more workers, but it is what it is. The Zerg player is now making more Broodlords versus a mass Thor player. Oh, Jesus Christ. The Zerg is literally, like, doesn't need anything fancy to win. Ultras have been doing just fine. Ultra Corruptor is such an easy-to-use composition. Beats almost anything if you need a mix of ground and air. The Zerg's like, I'm going to make Mutalith and Broodlords. Like, the 2 units, they get hard counted by Thors in either splash damage mode. Absolutely impressive. To be fair, though, I think Florencio at this point is just, he's super erect, and he's just like, I'm just gonna burn your drones down and tilt you out. We know that the longer the game goes, the more Florencio just calmly kind of macros and expands his turn, and the more his opponents tilt off the face of the fucking earth. They never rebuild their drones, and they just get brain damage. Like, I think it's just dealing with all this bullshit, right? It's dealing with this, and I just spat on my mic accidentally. That was kind of gross. It's dealing with just this waves of like, wait, nukes? Wait, there's ravens? Why are there widow mines everywhere? Why are there turrets everywhere? He just sets up as much bullshit as possible, and I think he slowly drains their composure. Like, I almost feel like there's an extra resource in a flow game. There's like this bar of like composure, steadiness, and like kind of mental... It's the thing where when that runs lower, the mental faculties decrease. The opponents just like don't really know what they're doing. They're just kind of massing the wrong units. They're not rebuilding their economy. They're not bouncing back. They're making all the wrong units. They're attacking into really bad positions when they don't need to. For some reason, there's 2 Broodlords on the right side of the map just chilling on their own. Florencio is going to come for an Ultra attack. Now, the Zerg, if they had Ultraling Bane, they could deal with it, but instead they've got their army split. It's not all control group. Double Nuke's going to go on the right. And these Thors, I mean, they could get surrounded on creep by mass Zergling and die, but they need the Ultras, the Mutas, the Banes, the Broodlords. It all needs to sync up. And right now, half the Zerglings aren't on the army group, as well as the Broodlords and the Corruptors. The Mutas, you know there's Widow Mines there. Don't go there. You know there's turret Widow Mine. Why would you fly out there? Oh, my Lord. So the Zerg could absolutely annihilate this army with Zergling Ultras surround, because way better upgrades and nothing to deal with the Lings. But, oh no, goes in with the Zergling single fire. Moving across the map. What are you doing? Half your army's over to the left. Oh my Lord, I've never seen a worse fight in my entire life. Holy shit. Man is broken mentally. The willpower to go on in this game. I mean, that's one of those moments. You see people do this in like physical fighting and stuff. They're like, I've had enough. And they just kind of, you know, they just give up a little bit. They let the other person choke them out or something like that. That's exactly what I think Man's doing. Man's like, I'm done. I'm going to fucking I'm going to run my army into mass auto turret and lose it all to that. Florencio 0-0 Thor Ghost Raven attack is going to finish the game, and by golly, if there wasn't something more frustrating to lose to than that. 28-minute game where your opponent chooses to not make upgrades. That's right, doesn't know how to, chooses not to, because Florencio likes to win without upgrades. You know, it really feels like we're watching a guy boxing while doing a handstand and punching only with his feet. It's fucking confusing, it's weird, but he gets off on it, and his opponents get absolutely insulted and tortured every time they lose to this. Those Ultras, they're actually going to clean this up. Oh my god, they're almost going to clean it up. Oh man, and now we see Thors with Javelin missile launchers. They should be using the other mode against Corruptors, because Corruptors are armored units, and there's not that many of them to stack up for the splash damage. But of course, Florencio, continuing the theme of this game, we have seen him use Thors in all the wrong ways. This has been a textbook example of how you should not use Thors. They've used splash damage when they should have used single fire. They've used single fire when they should have used splash damage. They've used drops into the opponent's mass muta, which makes no sense. They waddled across the map and sniped hatcheries with like run-by attacks and then ran home. and brain-bogglingly, mind-bendingly made it back. I mean, this game has been a perfect example of how you should not play, and yet somehow you can win. I think, honestly, this shows that his mental fortitude, his ability to swim through those deep, murky sewer waters and not lose track of where he's going. He's got some sort of compass in his head. You know how birds, even without like landmarks and shit, they can find their way home, they can navigate thousands of miles, and they know how to migrate and shit. I think Florencio has some sort of sewer sense as well. When the game's all fucked up and stupid, and he's only winning by doing stupid things, he still sometimes, he somehow stays focused on winning in the most effective way, or not the most effective, but a somewhat effective way, despite handicapping himself in so many ways. He's like, yeah, we want to damage 10 different units, kill none, and then lose the battlecruiser. I'm like, why? He's like, I'm going to shoot the Overlord, then the other Overlord, then the hatchery, then the Muta, then the hatchery, then the Overlord with the early battlecruiser. It's like, this makes no sense, mate. And he's like, he's just giggling to himself. Yet, when push comes to shove, he'll get his Thors in a choke point and stop the enemy's attack. When the Broodlords came for a push, he counterattacked with the Hellion Thor. And the Zerg pulled home, and that bought him time for his Vikings to come out and clean up the Broodlords. Now here, he hangs on with the mass repair on these Thors. Zerglings are so good, especially with the upgrade advantage. 3-2 and Adrenal versus the Thors. But he barely hangs on, defends this base. His base in the top left is mining super healthily. I mean, too healthily. Should move a lot of those workers over here. And the Zerg is basically just not rebuilding that economy still. Has managed to run down, I think it was about 10,000 minerals in the bank at one point. Never rebuilt this base. He's going to do a cute little Broodlord attack on the left side, but a lot of SCVs with auto repair. And there's Thors and Vikings on the way. So Vikings should be able to clean this one up. I like the idea of the Broodlord attack. And actually, he's going to do Zerglings on the right as well. There's only Widow Mines. If the Zerg is good enough at spreading, might kill this base with the Broodlords. And then if the Zerglings can kill all this, it might be okay. Oh, no. Oh my god, absolutely zero attempt to spread. And where's the Overseer? The Overseer's over there. It needs to be coming up to clean up those Widow Mines. Otherwise, they're going to fire again. But there's no Overseer on the way. And now, oh my god, all the Thors are in splash damage mode versus fucking Broodlords. Okay, swaps into high impact payload after the fight's over. Oh my god, Florencio, you absolute monkey brain. This is the most insane thing I've ever seen. And then even there, he doesn't even want the Thor to fight. He wants to move command it for some reason. I don't know if it's dancing through the SCVs. What is that Thor doing? Oh, it's trying to move in the mineral line for some reason. Oh my god. He's out of gas, so he actually can't repair his planetary very much right now. So it is burning down. He's mining from that gas as fast as he can. That's his only gas income. Can he get enough gas to repair the planetary? He keeps running out of the resources, and he's spending too much repairing the Thor right now. Uh-oh. So he stops repairing the Thor. He says, okay, prioritize repairing that. He's trying to get another gas up. You can see it costs gas. Every time he repairs a few hit points, it's at 100 hit points. So it is going up slowly. It was at 80 before. Now it's at 110. He puts workers on the other gas. Florencio. And he's at, okay, it's safe. 200, 300 hit points. When it gets to 500, it'll stop burning. And you can see that his gas income's staying up now. Taking gases on the right side as well. Our Zerg player, man, is continuing to just run Zerglings in. Has an Overseer. 30 more Zerglings on the way. He's making spine crawlers right now. Spine crawlers? Really? When you've got next to no economy, you're going to build spine crawlers? Okay. All right. He's broken. Man is absolutely 100% broken mentally and physically at this point. He's going to get annihilated on this side. Widow Mines and Vikings, not the best versus spines, but the Thors will do just fine. The Vikings going to lift off, let the Thors handle this. The Zerglings will come over. Watch out. This Widow Mine has been there for like 10 minutes, by the way, and it keeps firing. He finally avoids it one time, but you've got to spread the Zerglings out, bro. Oh my god, man, with zero spread. He's trying to counter Widow Mines with pure Zergling is definitely a micro-heavy endeavor. And it is not going to work out for man in this one. A 3 Thor, couple of Widow Mine push coming over. There's Hellion Widow Mine on the right as well. So if Hellions can get behind that mineral line, they'll do really well. Again, that Widow Mine fires. Oh my god, it's been over and over. The Vikings are going to land. Look how quickly those Zerglings kill the Thors, dude. That is actually insane. But it's just a thing where you're fighting like with so few actual units that it doesn't matter. Don't run into the Widow Mines again. Oh my god. I mean, you're going to kill the Thor, but you're going to lose all your lings. Oh, dude. Oh my god, this Widow Mine's still here. This Widow Mine is still... Oh, it's gonna fucking kill all the lings, isn't it? Oh my god. Just leave, dude. Put yourself out of this misery. Oh my god. This finally brings the one overseer over. Like 10 minutes in, but watch the... Oh my god, you're going to run up there and just not spread, are you? Hellions are going to come in and kill... Oh my god, this is the last mining over here. Actually, I think that's the first time man's pulled drones away from a harassment in this entire game. Man, oh, the Hellbats. Oh my god, and another Widow Mine fires. And now the Zerglings run into Hellbats. Oh my god, they do a lot of damage. Adrenal 3-2 for the win. A lot of them die, but there's still Widow Mines up here. Widow Mines here. And our Zerg player has an Overseer, but didn't even bring the Overseer back with those Zerglings. Oh my god, this Zerg player doesn't know how to bloody F2 or use control groups, apparently. Oh, Florencio's in peak torture mode right now. He's got the car battery wired up to the nipples. He's slowly got a knife, levering it in underneath the finger and toenails and just ripping those off one by one. Again, no spready. Dude, you gotta spread Zerglings out! And he keeps running past Widow Mines. Oh my god, that Widow Mine finally died. But yeah, these Widow Mines, 24 kills, 3 kills, 22 kills, 32 kills, 16 kills, 12 kills, 7 kills, 6 kills. I mean, this is just oh, look at that bait. Oh my god! Stop it! This is so cruel, man. The Zerg has lost 450 Zergs. It's finally going to make 2 more Overseers. Still is not using the one that's already on the map. Wait! Finally decided to bring it over. Oh man, and it's just going to walk through the Widow Mine. And then gets shot down by the Vikings. The Zerglings take another Widow Mine shot. Oh, this is straight torture. This Zerg is somehow still in there, angrily fighting for their life, but so goddamn ineffectively. The Thors, the Vikings, can take out the next Overseer. The Vikings land behind the mineral line, and on that, I think these last Zerglings going to go in, get roasted by their Hellbats, the Thors, the Vikings. And man is out of cash, out of drones. The last base is getting roasted down here. Broodlings and drones going down. And Florencio getting maximum torture out of his opponent here, using just about every unit in the game, but I really feel the Thor use was exceptionally bad. An absolute testament to Florencio's desire to torture not just his opponents, but also us watching it going, why do you play the game so wrong and still win? Well, I'm glad you guys have been enjoying it. I'm so happy to be back. This is a great episode to get back into the show with. We've got heaps more episodes coming. Big shout out to all of our people here who've been supporting the Patreon and allowing the content to continue. We are going to be pumping out a lot of content for you guys over the next few weeks and months, getting back into the flow after the subathon. Big thank you, Maxan, Colonel SC, Pimp City, James F, and Apollo God. Much love, everybody. See you in the next episode.